Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. It's a happy morning, happy day, and here we are on Morning Spring today. This very day, we're very happy to meet you again for today, and of course, the beginning of this week. Arise and shine. That is what they say, and that is what we are saying. We are up and grateful. Thank you for being with us and making it a date with us again on your station of choice where we say it as it is here at the Western Spring Television. You already know I am Femi Ojo and Evelyn Ohiolei is here. Good
Good
morning.
morning, Femi Ojo. How are
Good
you
morning,
doing
madam.
today?
Very well. How was your weekend?
Great. Oh,
Mm,
thank God.
good.
Good morning, people. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the penultimate week for the month of November.
Mm.
We are grateful indeed to God for life. My name is Evelyn Ohiolei, welcoming you especially to this edition of Morning Spring, the one after the election that happened in Ondo State. And Femi, the results are in already. The winner
Right.
has been declared,
Mm.
and it seems everyone is done with the Ondo election. And I think we are done for this year when it comes to off-cycle elections.
Yeah.
And of course, lucky
I-
Orimiso
yeah.
Aiyedatiwa
Yeah.
actually won that election. It's a landslide victory
It
because he
is.
won in
Yeah.
all 18 local government areas in Ondo State,
18,
polling
18-0.
18, all right.
Yeah.
Polling
Yeah.
366,781 votes to defeat his closest and major contender, Ajayi Popola of the People's Democratic Party, who polled 117,845 votes.
Mm.
Femi,
Mm.
when you saw the results, were you shocked or surprised? Not that he won, but that he cleared all 80 local government areas.
I'm not sure whatever I want to say. I want to be explicit right now, but then I think maybe so many things characterize that election. Actually, I wasn't thinking
Mm.
maybe it was going to be 18-0. You used the word now, the closest rival. We should add closest but very distant
Yeah.
rival. you know, because Agbola Ajayi polled, as we have right now, 117,845, while the winner polled 366, got almost three times
Mm.
what Agbola Ajayi, because 117, times three, it is very far from, and the, second runner up got 1,162. That's the Labour Party person, Lauren Femi Festus, although they had their issues. In fact, on
Yeah.
the eve of the election, that was when the name was
Yeah.
substituted.
Yeah.
And Mr. Edema, okay, we have Abbas Mimiko, and then, many of them like that, in which they couldn't even post something very significant. But then I wasn't thinking that the governor, Aiyedatiwa, was going to have all the local government one to
Yeah.
himself. It's a walkover, if you ask me. These results are shown. But then, we'll talk about this in the course of the program because many things characterize that election, and it wasn't about policy. It looks like it wasn't about ideology.
Mm.
It was about the other ideology, which is our reality, sadly, right now. And there's the issue of, it was this same state that we got that Diboko Sebe, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
You just go and vote, and then you have something in your port. And it seems it has continued again, not just there. But then, don't let me preempt our conversation for today. But then, INEC has announced Lucky Orimi son Aiyedatiwa. And, this is a man with, I'm not talking about how he matched, but talking about his names, very
Yeah.
deep, worded names. Orimi son, more like, my head is good, right? And Aiyedatiwa. The Aye has now become his own right now,
Yeah.
and he should do well in that particular. I remember, while his boss was alive, during this, I think the inauguration of Aketi's second time, while he turned on that podium, he turned to him and said, one day, maybe you are going to succeed. Me Orieti somebody, meaning your head is now, good and has done well for you. But then maybe the courts are there. Possibly any of the political parties might want to try the process of the court, and it's their right, by the way, to seek redress if they think
Sure.
something untoward has happened. But then It is what it is. Ondo State now know the person that will that will sit in the saddle of their policy, their direction, and whatever he does with them in the next 4 years.
Sure. And we definitely wish the people of Ondo State
Yeah,
well. That's
sunshine
the
style.
prayer we can pray for them. And we know that this choice that they've made, would really, they would really be lucky. And their Ori will son.
And their year will become their own truly.
Yeah, we have to go to the newspaper review segment
Actually.
now. The papers are in. Let's see what the papers are saying. Do not go anywhere. Morning Spring. We'll be right back. All right, let's get right into it, shall we? I will start with Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Daily Trust newspaper, the big bold caption there is saying presidency mom as Obasanjo IMF slam Tinubu's reforms with double riders. Nigeria under state capture, says former president. Initiatives confronted by adjustment fatigue, says IMF. And you can see there recent comments made by Obasanjo on Tinubu. You can see on September 5, 2023, he said, someone told me, Tinubu said, refineries would work by December. I told the person the refineries would not work. They would not work as long as the government is keeping them. Interview with the cable online newspaper. And of course, you can see that from May 2024, August 2024, October 2024. You can get on to Daily Trust newspaper and read more for yourself. This man has never kept quiet when it comes to issues on Nigeria. He's an elder statesman. And of course, he continues to lend his voice to the matters concerning the country he once presided over. Away from that power outage, small businesses turn to alternative energy. With double riders, options costly, deplete capital, traders, artisans, and MAN's exporters task FG on green electricity. We hope something meaningful will be done in the power sector. Everyone is complaining, everyone is lamenting. And there is this trend of, transformer going faulty in different areas at the same time. The national grid is happening at the center, transformers, blowing up and getting faulty in different areas. And someone is asking, is this a calculated attack on the power sector? What is really happening? Because this is too much to be a coincidence, really. That's what some people are saying. They say it's too calculated to be a coincidence. Why didn't we have this last year or last 2 years? But I hope Minister Adebayo Adelabu is really looking deep into the papers and checking the details so that he can really get this right. A top corner, Daily Trust newspaper this morning. APC retains Ondo as Aiyedatiwa elected governor. War on Gaza. UN Committee Human Rights Watch indict Israel for genocide. That is outside of the country. And former NIA DG Zakari son die same day. There's a sad news, I should say. That will be all from Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
All right, looking at the Nation newspaper. Why Aiyedatiwa secured total victory in governorship election. With riders, APC candidate wins in all 18 councils. PDP reject results. Tinubu Ganduje governors hail victory. And the total result, APC 366,781, PDP 117,845. And result from the council, some of the local councils, Idore, Irele, Akoko East, Akoko Northeast, Akure South, Akoko Northwest, Akoko Southeast, Ondo West, and Owa. The margin are so wide. For example, in Owa. That's where the late Aketi came from. His former boss, that's Aiyedatiwa, and even Agbolaja, his former boss, who is now late. The APC, that's Lucky Orimi's son, 31,914. 31,914. And PDP got 4,740. 4,740. That's almost a difference of, 17,000 or thereabout. 27,000, I dare say. That's quite a huge. By the way, moving on. Beside that, you have the picture of the winning party at this time, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, flanked by his colleagues, the governor of Imo State, Mr. Hope, because Hope Uzadima, and of course, the chairman of that party, former governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, and Jide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State, Abdurrahman Abdurazak of Kwara, and of course, Dapo Abiodun himself.
The LA of Ogun State.
The LA of. And of course, raising their hands. I'm waiting to see the worship song that they took in this place because they are used to it. Oh, the glory must be to the Lord was what they sang in, was in Benin? Yeah.
In Edo State, yes.
In Edo State. Now, it is what it is. All the glory must be to the Lord, coming from the politicians. That's fine. By the way, bottom strip, APC clears all council chairmanship seat in Ogun. All right. Yeah, as they say, it is what it is. PDP wins all seats in Zamfara Council. Interesting democracy. Is democracy not growing, Evelyn? We are getting there, are we?
In whatever way it is, it's growing. I mean, it's growing. It might be growing in a snail-like manner or a tortoise-like manner,
but
whatever.
Are we heading in the right direction? That's the question.
That's another thing. Are we growing in the right direction?
That speed, notwithstanding, either snail-like or cheetah-like or jaguar-like, is in the right direction.
That's another question we should ask.
APC is in charge, at least at the state level, in Ogun State, and they have cleared all of it. PDP is in charge in Zamfara State. They have cleared all of it as well. Victory for democracy. Moving on, Tinubu in Brazil for G20 summit. And here, Obasanjo's comment on Tinubu mischievous, says Afenifere chief. Okay, and Nigeria, India to deepen trade and military partnership. Tinubu awards GCON to India Prime Minister. GCON. I saw that. I was like,
yeah.
Are we not just this national award thing? Is it not become? I'm sorry, Narendra Modi is a big figure in India. In fact, in world politics, India is playing a very huge part. But these days, more like, hello, what can we give you? Well, give him one GCON or CFR. It's becoming free for all, and at every instance, we just want to give it out to everybody, deserving or not deserving.
It has actually sparked outrage on social media. People are wondering why the government, why would the president give the Prime Minister of India, GCON, Grand Commander of the Order of Niger, which is actually considered the second highest in the land, and this is the second person that will get it, who is a foreigner. The first was Queen Elizabeth, the late Queen Elizabeth II, when she came to Nigeria. But then people would wonder, what has Narendra Modi did, or what has it done for Nigeria for him to be given this award? These are questions. Well, Mr. President may have his own reasons. I know that you've definitely talked about bilateral ties with the president, the Prime Minister coming to Nigeria, but what exactly has it done to warrant us giving him the second highest honor in our country?
Just after the GCFR, then you have the GCFR.
These are the issues. But then
it's looking more like a souvenir right now. Like, what can we give you to take back to your country?
And this is an honor that should be given, aside from Mr. President who gets it with a seat. This is an honor that actually should be given because you've done something. You've earned it. You've done something meaningful to the land. So I mean,
maybe now that people are talking about it and sparked outrage, maybe the presidency might tell us.
Will he revoke it? You can't revoke it.
No, I'm just saying the reason. The reason why he has gone ahead to do that maybe it's to, you know what they say around here, if you want to walk on a wet floor,
To curry favor?
yeah, maybe, and the favor might not be for him, maybe it's for the country. Wait to see what it is. That's the Narendra Modi, GCON, right there, with the giver of the award, the GCFR himself. That's the number one and number two in terms of national merit in Nigeria. And NDDC to pump 1.9 trillion naira into 1006 legacy projects, our sweet NDDC. Agency to change narrative. Okay, we wait. And how to tackle rising food crisis by experts. Policy plan must change. And Olubadan asks Sultan to continue promoting religious tolerance. And lastly, here, JAM begins accreditation of centers for 2025 UTME. That's all from the front page of The Nation.
And from The Nation newspaper, let's add on to The Guardian. The Guardian newspaper this morning, leveraging shared history, Nigeria, India to expand $7.9 billion trade ties. That's on page 6, and you can see the photograph of the number one person in Nigeria, Mr. President Bola Tinubu, and of course his counterpart from India, Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, with that handshake, and both men smiling.
Please add this thing, Narendra Modi GCON.
Okay, sorry. It's not, you know how Yoruba is say Timora.
Yeah, please let him know.
You know, and you can see both men smiling to the cameras, and this actually shows that Nigeria and India will definitely work together. You know, in the coming years. Away from that, court stops NBC from imposing fines threatening broadcast stations. All right, how double-digit interest rates scuttled local vehicle acquisition. How double-digit interest rates scuttled local vehicle acquisition. And on poll, Aiyedatiwa retains seat as Tinubu tells PDP others go to court. And that particular statement is very familiar, especially after an election. You just tell you know, those who are not who are aggrieved, or probably who do not accept the result, to go to court. And people have said the courts should not be the determinant of people's choices. We should get it right at the polls. INEC should do a very good job at the polls. You know, we had the elections in US, you know, and we do not hear Donald Trump telling Kamala Harris to go to court, because they trust the umpire, they trust the election process, and everything is clear, transparent. You can see it's open. Everyone, even whether or not you are in government or not, you can see what's happening, and that is true democracy, where everyone is involved. Doesn't matter who you are, whether you are a candidate or you are a cleaner or you are a security, you have access to what is going on up there. And I hope we're going to get to that. You can see the man with the tick, who is Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, the elected candidate for the election under the platform of the All Progressives Congress APC, polling 366, 781 votes. And the next to him, it's actually a distant second, I should say, is Agbola Ajayi of the People's Democratic Party, polling 117,845 votes. And Labour Party, this is a more distant third, you know, polling 1,162, and that's Olorun Femi Festus of the Labour Party coming third. And Zenith Labour Party, Abbas Mimiko, scoring 2,692 votes. And of course, the last person there, Myson Noje of the ADC, with this figure, I don't know.
Yeah, 4,138.
That means it's really.
That's number 3.
It should be number 3.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it should be number 3. Amazing. Okay, and that's it. The people of Ondo State has made their choice, and we hope that their choice is good enough. Yield-tight spending, supply disruption to push inflation up, 34.45% this month. House meets Tinubu's team on tax reform bills. Islamic scholars decry rising sexual gender violence in the north. Islamic scholars decry rising sexual gender violence in the north. And by the way, today, November 18, is a day set aside for the prevention and, for the prevention of and healing from child sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence.
Right.
That the day has been set aside to create awareness for that prevention of and healing from child sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence. So not just we talking about it, we also try to prevent it. Our children are ours, whether or not they come from your loins or from your womb. They are yours. Make every child your child. When you do that, definitely you will treat every child with love and also respect. I should put it there. And lastly, a CM Day 6 review of abortion laws. 2025 budget, experts divided over 1,400 naira to a dollar exchange rate, others. And COP29, Nigeria advocates collaborative approach to decarbonization. And that will be all from the front page of the Guardian newspaper.
Right, a couple of headlines from the Vanguard as well. The Vanguard. Ondo, how APC's Aiyedatiwa flawed PDP's Ajayi, others with, myriads of headlines there. An APC candidate, riders scored 366,711. Governor-elect dedicates victory to the late Akeredolu, and offers olive branch to opponents and vows to run inclusive government. Election was daylight robbery. PDP and ABDC candidates. It is, worst poll ever. PDP have victories in Edo, Ondo, not a fluke. APC, that's a winning party there. Tinubu, Buhari, Sanwo-Olu, Oyebanji, Jibrin, others, felicitate, if I get that correctly, with Aiyedatiwa. And here, Yaga Africa condemned vote buying and please DIG fourth conduct of poll. All right. A lot about the election there. Away from that, discordant tunes trail APC's World Congress in Rivers, and we are relevant. Conwa replies ASU. Remember Conwa? And here, Tinubu departs Abuja for G20 Leaders Summit in Brazil, and Nasima petitions federal government, alleges illegal operations of NIBC India in Nigeria, whatever that is. And here on the sporting team, Morocco 2025 Super Eagles go for victory against, I can't see this particular. The next opponent actually is Rwanda. They are playing against Rwanda today. And it's just for the points. Of course, just to cement, they have been leaders at the top already. They've already qualified for that. And court stops NBC from imposing fines, sanctions on broadcast stations, and Nigeria, India to boost economic, defense, health, food security ties. I feel they should have added entertainment because India are big in that as well, and they have the industry. So imagine Hollywood with Bollywood. It will be so super if actually we can work something out, because really they are way ahead. But then Nollywood, they are coming up very strongly as well. Now, Sokoto farmers to federal government intensify efforts to flush out Lakurawa terrorists. This is one thing that we must do. I heard somebody in power, I think maybe somebody in charge of small mopping up of arms or something, I've forgotten last week, said something and said, the Lakurawas, or Lukarawas, whatever you choose to call them, let's stay with Lakurawas. They are just, the person said they will be flushed out in no distant times, that they are less than 200, all of them. So there's just a tea party for the government to just wipe them out. And the question will be, if it's that easy, you know their numbers, you have their roll call, and their attendants and their names, less than 200, right? Then for you to flush out 200, it shouldn't take you more than 2 days, if actually. And that was last week. You shouldn't be talking about it by November 18 again. And by the way, you know, the attitude of discarding problem instead of tackling, we discard it. It's not an issue. We'll just do what we have to do. Some will say, we even thank God that they are not denying. Actually, at least you are established that there are these people who are posing danger to our people and our nation as well. And somebody came out and said, all of them put together, they are less than 200. In no distance that they will be flushed out. And at least we have been talking about Lakurawas now almost 2 weeks. We should be seeing them neutralized. And you know, the way Israel did, the way everybody does, when they go about some of these targets, the moment they are neutralized, immediately you see DNA being performed. They pick any part of their body to confirm these are the people we are looking for. And that's the way it should be. So somebody has discarded them, less than 200. They are nothing.
Well, the person that discarded them is doing his job because he definitely has to instill confidence.
I'm not sure he's doing his job. That's not confidence.
He has to instill confidence.
Doing your job is neutralizing them. We've seen their bodies and then we are okay.
Yes.
Not when Sokoto people are telling the federal government today, intensify your efforts to flush them.
Yeah, I understand. What I'm saying is the person talking is doing his job of public relations. So he definitely would not come and say, even if the Lakurawa are, you know, hitting hard on the Nigerian army, he would not come out and say, oh, we've been subdued or we do not have the power against these people. It will send some shockwaves across the nation.
But many persons will feel you rather keep quiet. Go and do your job.
That is his job. That's what I'm saying.
That person I'm talking about, I'll get the name. It's not a PRO. It's somebody in charge of, I'll get the name. If he's an image maker, I wouldn't have issues with it. But I'll get the name, just like I said. Instead of saying, discarding them as they are just 200. You know that mood? Just 200 people. So, flush them out. We are not just talking about flushing them out. Neutralize all of them. Because don't just push them, the way they say, to the fringes. And then all of a sudden, they might take a year to regroup. And when they come back hard on the people. That's not the way to go. And we are talking about Nigerian Army, Nigerian Police, Nigeria Civil Defense, Nigeria, which other one? The Navy, the Air Force, and all of these, even the JTF. We should not be grappling with any Lakurawas. Lakura, I'm not sure they are in the, you know, the same WhatsApp group as the Hezbollahs, as the, you know, the Hamas of this world. And even those ones, they are being pursued all over. But wherever you believe it is, we should do our work. And we should not make ourselves jokes and butt of jokes in the community of nations. By the way, that will be all from my end here. And I think that's all at this time as well. We'll take this break. When we return, we speak to doing things rightly, especially as politics is concerned. An electioneering process, should it be smooth? Can we get it smooth? Can we get it the way we want it? Can we get it the way Constitution has, you know, outlined it to be, especially with what has happened in Ondo State? Stay with us.